Welcome to number 17 of the Advent Calendar video series. Hello everyone, my name is Selina from Vintage Gaudi. I'm doing an Advent Calendar video series and today we got already number 17, door number 17. I hope you like these videos actually so far, so write me down in the comment section down below if you really like the video concept that I have created with the surprise topics for each day, showing you around in my collection, showing you a lot of decades from Barbies, Polly Pockets, My Little Ponies, so toy hunting tours. I hope you really like this concept. So write me down in the comment section down below. And right now, let's also choose the topic for today. I got here the bag. Let's do it on this side for once. Let's choose a topic for today. Which one will it be? So, this one here. Yes. What is it? What is number 17? Oh, something from the 2000s. Which is it? 2000's pregnant Mitch doll. Okay, this is really cool. Also really an icon. So far we had 2000's video girl Barbie, and now we have another icon which is 2000's pregnant Mitch doll. A controversial doll actually, which I'm not sure if she got recalled, I believe, but I'm so happy that I can show you her on this YouTube channel. So let's pick pregnant Mitch doll and let's do the video about it. Here we go, door number 17. It is today all about the 2000's pregnant Mitch doll. Let me tell you a little bit the background story and why this doll is so controversial. Pregnant Mitch was actually released in 2002, 2003, depending on which era you grew up, as a pregnant doll. This doll was part of the Happy Family line, which was also introduced in the early 2000s. This Happy Family line was basically about the mother Mitch. Then they had kids, later on in total 3 kids, then her husband Ellen, and they were also set with grandparents included. They had their whole own line, which was like an own house, own car, own everything. So they were basically resembling the Hart family from the 80s, but now with a more newer, more moderner style from the 2000s. So basically this, quite the same Hart family and now Happy Family, but it is with a character specific from the Barbie line. Mitch was advertised in the early 60s as Barbie's first and best friend, obviously, and Ellen was also released back then in the 60s as Ken's best friend. So basically they are the characters from the Barbie line, but they created the Happy Family line. So to promote all about the family, all about families, etc. and so on. I think that would be the idea. So that is also basically what Hart family was. And later on in the 2000s, Happy Family. Now, to the controversial part of this doll, actually, there have been many releases of this doll. So the first release, when she came out in 2002, 2003, it was just a doll, and she had a belly button with a magnetic feature, and in there was her baby. So she was advertised as a pregnant doll, or she kind of was displayed in the box as a pregnant doll, and that caused a lot of controversy and concerns back then in time for advertising teenage pregnancy. The reasons or the main arguments those concerns were referencing to is actually that she looks too young to be a mother, and she does not have the wedding ring. So there were these two main arguments that they had for this controversy feature. She looks too young to be a mother, and she's not carrying any wedding ring. So that those concerns and also those reclamations, I guess, were so pushed up that it even led Walmart to discontinue the Happy Family pregnant Mitch doll from their shelves. So they took out her out of the shelves and were not selling her anymore. Mattel had quickly to respond to that because, that is something not really nice. If your dolls will be out of the shelf, you do not sell them, you don't get any money. So what they made specific for Walmart back then is actually a Walmart, sort of exclusive. The Mitch doll was as she came with the dress, but without the belly button, and the baby was already there. So she's not pregnant. She was sold not as a pregnant doll, but with a newborn baby. Plus, there was also a cutout from Ellen and Ryan, her husband and her firstborn child, and they were sold then later on in Walmart. Plus, she got also a wedding ring. So they kind of made these adjustments, and then she was back in shelf again. So this doll actually was not discontinued. So like she came in the shelf and they took her off the shelves forever. No, she came back in the shelves with some adjustments that it is more accurate or more the time spirit from back then, that she should have a wedding ring, and she should not carry the baby inside of her belly. Instead, the baby is already there. So those adjustments they made, and yeah, that is how this doll then later on was re-released in kind of form. So yeah, basically about it. So this doll caused a lot of controversy because she was or the people back then thought she's too young and she does not have her wedding ring. However, I don't know which versions we got here in Europe, but I can say she must have been quite popular because I have already found her twice, and her fashion, her dress, I have found already 3 times. So she must have been around quite a while and must have been quite popular at a point. However, I have never found the baby, and I have never found her magnetic belly. So I don't know if she was released here pregnant or if she was released here in Europe when the baby was already there. So I don't know. I could not find really something informations about it, but I'm quite happy to have her at least, even though I don't have baby and the belly button and all the other things. I just have the doll, her dress, and I have her firstborn, baby Ryan. So now into the children's history from Mitch. So Mitch and Ellen married in the early 90s, which was actually wedding day. Mitch, the huge play set, but also, not play set, but a huge set with all the characters as Mitch and Ellen. And then bridesmaid Barbie, bridesmaid Skipper, I believe, and also Ken. So it was a huge set, but also the characters were sold separately. They married in the 90s, and somewhere in the 90s there was also some promo pictures released of Ellen and Mitch having twins. So Ellen was holding up the baby boy and Mitch was actually holding up the baby girl. However, those two babies were never actually produced, and so no one knows what their names were, no one knows what happens to them. But then in the 2000s, Mitch has her official babies, which is her firstborn and some sort of 3-year-old. So it should resemble a 3-year-old baby, and this is baby Ryan. There was also a set released with Ellen pushing a stroller, and in there was baby Ryan. So this is her first baby that she got, baby Ryan. And baby Ryan was born before she got pregnant in the store. So actually she had already one baby, but that doesn't stop the controversy about her. So the baby number 2 that she was pregnant in the 2000s as the pregnant Mitch doll was baby Nikki, so a baby girl, and baby Nikki was her second child. Later on in the Happy Family line, or a year, actually quite a year later after Nikki was born, Mitch was pregnant again with a surprise baby. For the longest time they did not tell you the gender of the baby and also not the name, because when you buy the set it should be a surprise for you, so kind of surprise baby. But later on they came out with a name, and the baby was then named Cassandra. So she has 3 official children and 2 twins from the 90s, which no one knows if they were hers or what happens to the twins. But we got baby Ryan, baby Nikki, and baby Cassandra later on, or the 3 kids of it. Now I want to show you a little bit the Mitch doll, because I think she's actually really pretty. She has, as Mitch usually has, red hair, and I totally love it. This time she has this closed mouth, so it is the 2000s. Let me just say, oh no, it is 1985. Is it? Which face mold is it? Is it the Diva face mold then? I'm not sure, but she has this closed mouth, which is sort of interesting, but I like it on her actually. And she still has the freckles. So during the years of releases from Mitch, her freckles kind of got lost, so she is losing constantly freckles, and later on I think she does not have many of it or none. But here we have the freckles, and I totally love it. Mitch has blue eyes, so she was usually released with blue or green eyes, so she has this time as pregnant Mitch the blue eyes and pink earring studs. Also quite interesting is her hairstyle. So this is her original hairstyle. She got 2 braids on one side, 2 braids on the other, holding it together in the back. So I kind of recreated it a little bit. Not so good actually. Looking back, it does not look good. But anyways, so we got this hairstyle. So as the beautiful Mitch doll. Her hair quite long actually, so really pretty, really shiny. Totally love this red hair from Mitch. Absolutely stunning. Then she comes with this dress, and I'm not sure if you can call it paternity dress, maternity dress, or so, but it does not fit her because, as I mentioned, she should come with a belly button, and then the dress looks really nice on her. However, I mentioned out also I don't have the belly button of hers, so yeah, I cannot put it here, and also don't have, unfortunately, baby Nikki. Mitch doll was released or is released with articulations in the elbow, which means she can hold the baby perfectly in her arms, carry it around, and yeah, placing it into the bed and so on. So that is the gimmick from her, that she actually can carry her kids or her baby then, so like in the arms, and yeah, walking around, helping it to sleep and so on, so everything around motherhood, right? And she has like already the newer, or how can I say, yeah, the 2000-ish body mold, which has more which has more the larger hips, which I'm absolutely loving it. This mold is from 2002, and so yeah, perfectly for her. Bend and snap knees in 2, 3 positions, 1, 2, 3 straight. So yeah, absolutely love it that they still kept these bend and snap knees in the early 2000s, and absolutely gorgeous. So this is her original dress that she came with, which she was also released in the stores. You can see the dress is not in very best condition. It is losing some seamings here, but I can kind of fix it later on. Then I can put her back to the display again. And now I was talking about a wedding ring, so I checked with mine, and she has the wedding ring. That leads me to the conclusion that we got more the version from Walmart, in which baby Nikki was already there, so she was not pregnant anymore. I'm not sure if that version came with that magnetic belly button that you can put it on, and later on made her pregnant again. So I don't know, but she has her wedding ring, which means she must be a later release, because the first ones didn't have a wedding ring, and so that was also part of these controversial arguments that she does not have the wedding ring. Yeah, that is the beautiful Mitch doll, but I also do have baby Ryan, which has particularly nothing to do with the pregnant Mitch doll, but I still wanted to include him into this video because it is also part from the Happy Family line, and it is her son. So yeah, I got this one here. I'm not sure, I don't think, or is it eventually his original onesie, not sure, but this is baby Ryan, and the firstborn son from Mitch. Absolutely gorgeous, and as I mentioned, it should be more like a 3-year-old that yeah was released with her, or this one was actually, Ryan was also more released with his dad Alan. Alan, as I mentioned, was also the character from the 60s. Ken's best friend. Mitch was also first released in the 60s as Barbie's best friend, and through those friends, they kind of got together, married, and had children, and had their own line, which was the Happy Family line. What do you think about this pregnant Mitch doll? Do you understand this controversy, or do you think it was overreacted or whatever? Do you have pregnant Mitch, or do you want to have her? Write me down in the comment section down below. I really hope you like this video about the controversial Mitch doll. For sure there are more more informations about her, but this is what I just got and what I just remember from her, and I think she's a stunning doll. And looking back from now point of view, in which we have in the TV shows that are actually advertising teenage pregnancy, I cannot understand the arguments from back then. But yeah, early 2000s was a total different time period. There was more like a conservative point of view probably, and so teenage pregnancy was something unusual. And nowadays, yeah, it is still unusual, but it happens more than ever. Or actually, yeah, it is so kind of this generation gap between the arguments from back then and on this point of view from 2025 and 2025 point of view, that is a little bit different. But that is just my opinion. I can understand that it had concerns about it, but Pregnant Mitch was actually not the very first pregnant doll released. So there have been more pregnant dolls released, but they didn't had this impact as Barbie. So Barbie, a huge global brand, had this impact, and so people are more kind of focusing on Barbie and what they release with her, rather than looking a little bit to the side where other doll brands were released with pregnant dolls. So yeah, it is kind of that thing, but it is how it is. Looking back on the perspective of a collector, she has her value, especially if she's complete and new in box, so she has that value, and I'm super happy to have her in my collection, even though I'm missing her baby and everything around it, but I'm so happy to have at least the doll, which is amazing, and to have her firstborn son. Yeah, that's it about the Pregnant Midge doll. I really hope you liked this video. Please go and check out more other Advent Calendar videos, and we see us tomorrow with number 18.